Welcome to my channel. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. Kanye West, you should have known better. When it comes to war, sometimes the best way to win is to recognize who your opponent is and realize you're outnumbered and decide not to go to war at all. In the past few weeks, Kanye West has been trending and not for good reasons, and he has lost it all. And this is all caused by himself. He has nobody else to blame but himself. Kanye West has been dropped by Adidas. Aaron Donald and Jaylen Brown have left Kanye West down the sports agency. Kanye is no longer a billionaire. Kanye has been dropped by all the different brands and companies that have been associated with him, and he caused this. He made some anti-Semitic statements, but he should have known better. This isn't the first celebrity that has made statements, not just anti-Semitic, but also try to make statements to try to expose the industry and end up getting canceled and getting blackballed. And he knows this. He's mentioned some of them. He talked about Michael Jackson. He knows what the possible outcome could have been, so he has nobody else to blame but himself. The people that were hyping you up, they don't have the balls to do it publicly themselves because they know the possible outcome before it happened, which was ending up getting canceled and losing everything like you just did. You gotta ask yourself, so you made those statements to wake up people, but what was the purpose? What was the point? What did you expect to gain out of it? Let's say people did wake up from your statements. Now what? What's the next plan? What's the next move? You were outnumbered from the get-go, and you let your ego and the people in the corner in the background hyping you up, leading you into enemy's territory just to end up getting slaughtered and ending up in a battle that was impossible to win from the beginning. Kanye, you bit off more than you could chew. You had no one in your corner of power and should have never gone so deep. The damage was too big and you refused to apologize from the beginning. It's a battle that you won't win. It's a battle that no one has ever tried to fight before and have won themselves. Here's the reality. Some people will say, oh, if he said the same things about blacks, nothing would have happened to him. And no one cared when he made the comments like slavery was a choice, which basically made a mockery of the black community. Here's the reality. Of course, nothing would have happened to him if he said the same things about blacks, because blacks do not run those companies nor have any power or stake in them. And secondly, the J community simply don't care about his money. They stick together and they value their image. We as black people excuse a lot of BS just because somebody has a lot of money and just because we like that person. Kanye has been making a mockery of the black community for a while. He's been on his MAGA stuff, making MAGA statements for a few years, but black people still ran out and still supported him and bought his Yeezys. He said slavery was a choice, yet blacks still continued to support him. Despite what he said about George Floyd, despite how bad it was, black people would have forgotten about it in a few weeks and would have continued to support him if he dropped a new album that they love or a new version of the Yeezys that they love. Too many times the black community allows people to come in, disrespect them, say outlandish stuff like slavery was a choice, but if they like the celeb, they'll continue to support them. For example, look at Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion promoting WAP to the black community and poisoning the minds of a lot of young ladies. Hell, there's hardly if any black female celebrity that young black girls can look up to that are not twerking, that are not showing off their bodies, that are not rapping, singing about their WAPs, how tight it is, how they got that grip. There's none, and it's sad. Other communities do not allow that, nor do they support it to the level that we do. And for the men, we support male artists who only talk about how much money they got, how richer they are than us, their ops, spinning the block, selling drugs, and sleeping with dudes' girls. Other communities do not allow that, nor do they support it the way and the level that we do. Some will blame the record labels and say they're the ones poisoning the minds of the youth. But here's the thing, record labels in the music industry is a business. Supply and demand. You have to give the consumer what they want and what they demand. Unfortunately, artists who do not talk about shooting, their WAP, not trying to use their sexuality to sell records, not rapping about spinning the block, their ops, they do not get a lot of support when they're up and coming. But the ones who do get all the support are the ones that promote all these negative things impacting the community. Since the music industry is a business, and as a business, this is what the customer is demanding. So they have to continue supply those types of chaotic artists that promote negative stuff because they're the only ones who receive support and sell records. The ones who try to be positive, they don't receive any support from fans and oftentimes are looked as lames, not cool enough. Now back to Kanye. He is a real life example of get out. He thought that all the MAGA and the right-wing folks would back him up, but he quickly got his wake-up call. He is no longer useful and no longer valuable to them. He was a puppet that was used to say stuff that they would never want to say publicly. And he's taken it so far and has received so much backlash that every major company is cutting ties with him. Anyone associated or affiliated with Kanye West now has a target on their back. Kanye turned his back and made a mockery of the black community. He said slavery was a choice a couple years ago and recently was seen rocking an All Lives Matter t-shirt. Whether you think Black Lives Matter Foundation is a scam or not, you know what it means to the black community. You know police brutality has been an ongoing issue. So why make a mockery of the black community by wearing a shirt like that? You turned your back on the black community and now the community must turn their back on you too. Who is in your corner now, Kanye? You're such a liability that no one can publicly come out and support you or they will get canceled too. You think Adidas wants to lose $2 billion a year of revenue that the Yeezys brand brought in? No, but the pressure was too high. You think Jaylen Brown, who at first had said that he would stay with Donda Sports, but later on retracted his statements in less than 24 hours and also announced that he will be leaving along with Aaron Donald, who did the same. The pressure was too strong. Clearly, Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, and Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, made a call to them boys and told them to cut ties with Kanye or else. So Kanye, you gotta ask yourself, was it worth it? You got no one in your corner now. You lost it all. You know you could have gotten your point across without saying anti-Semitic statements, without making a mockery of the black community. It's called having tact and something you should have learned to do before making those statements and losing it all in the end. And you forgot the two biggest rules in America. Number one, as a black man in America, no matter how much money you make, no matter how powerful you get, no matter if you marry and date interracially, you are still a black man at the end of the day and will quickly get your ninja wake up call when you get out of line like Kanye did. And number two, as a person living in America, regardless of your race, reality is freedom of speech does not exist. Whether you like it or not, whether you think it's right or not, it does not exist. Not everything is meant to be said publicly, especially when you have a lot to lose and the backlash will be too strong. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. And with that being said, I am out.